Congratulations on your decision to learn more about constraints in this Fusion 360 beginner tutorial. You will use basic geometry when you follow along in this tutorial, and you will start with a rectangle. First, you will learn about the difference between a partially and fully constrained sketch. Next, I will teach you about hierarchies. First, hit Sketch, Rectangle and add dimensions. Second, press D, the hotkey for dimension, and add a value. It doesn't matter which dimensions you put in, for this example. Stay close to the central geometry mark. You will create a reference to that next. Pay attention to the symbols. I move the mouse over them. Those are horizontal and vertical constraints, and they constrain those lines vertically. You can encounter both blue and black lines in Fusion 360. Some of those blue lines will shortly become black. Blue lines are information about not fully constrained geometry. Desirable? It depends on the situation. You can't move around a fully constrained sketch, so constraining parts of the sketch, or the complete sketch, is a method for locking up the design. Watch as I hit D, hotkey for dimension, and add dimensions. As I put my dimensions out there, parts of the sketch become constrained. I've set rules for the sketch, and because of those rules, I can't move those parts. Those lines are black. Not fully constrained lines remain blue in Autodesk Fusion 360. Now on to the hierarchies. Create two polylines. One horizontal, one not so horizontal. Notice the horizontal polyline. It is per default constrained to the x-axis. What has it to do with hierarchies? If you get familiar with this area, you see a smorgasbord of constraint options. This gives 3D modelers working in Autodesk Fusion 360 great flexibility. This is a situation where the constraint symbol affects you. It doesn't matter if I press the horizontal line first or last. The line will adapt to the line constrained to the x-axis. First, select the constraint symbol and delete it. Second, go to Sketch, Parallel Constraint. Third, select line 1 and then line 2. The second line adapts to the position of the first line. Both lines now have the constraint symbol. Add a third line and go for the perpendicular constraint. This constraint will put the line in 90-degree angle toward the other line. Select the line, select other geometries. Now we have two constraint symbols on the original line. We could go on for another hour about constraints. We will not do that. I hope you picked up some basic understanding. Now, go on and elaborate further in your Fusion 360 sketches. Check out my other videos to learn more about 3D printing and 3D modeling. And remember, everything has a coordinate.